You are ruining your remodel every time you say, I'll make a decision later. It sounds totally reasonable, but trades are booked in order, materials are ordered ahead of time, so when we're missing a piece in the middle, it's going to affect everything behind it. Every decision that we defer or wait until construction has started to make is a potential change order. Change orders should only happen because a client truly changes their mind, not because we didn't make those decisions up front. We've all heard the horror stories about remodels or builds that have gone over budget and over schedule. Clients are always concerned when we first meet with them about those two things more than anything else. So we had a client a while ago. We didn't have a tile selected for a bathroom remodel, and we had the shower tile and all of the other pieces selected, but we hadn't made a decision on the floor. And when they actually made their decision, we found out that we couldn't get that tile for several weeks, but she had to have that tile. What that did to her project was slow it down. It added almost 2 weeks to the construction schedule, and it caused a new charge from the tile installer because he had to come back. He had to install one round of tile and then come back and install the other part once it came in. If we're missing one selection, it doesn't just delay that item. It can cause a ripple effect and delay things that are after that. Pre-construction is a great process where a client and a contractor and a designer really get to know each other and learn the communication styles of all the people involved in the project. It's great practice for when we move into construction, which can be a more stressful situation. We didn't always practice a pre-construction process. In fact, we used to do it the old-fashioned way. And now with this process, we are guaranteeing our clients that we finish on time and on budget. You have thousands of decisions to make. So having a designer like me on your team early on in the process helps cut those decisions down. We're in here in the background discussing details of your project that you may not even know about, but we're making sure that everything is aligned and that everything is on track. So assembling your team before you start construction is the most valuable way for you to complete a large project. Really relieves stress on my clients because they have someone who knows exactly where a toilet paper holder should be installed, or all of the little details that I think through or am experienced to detail on your plans that you probably aren't even thinking of. Hiring a design build firm like ourselves really helps with the cohesion of the process and the build. It's not just the big things like the flooring and the tile and the slabs and the faucets. It's little things like your dishwasher air gap. What color is that? Your sink strainer, what color is that? These things typically in an older process are left for the contractor to just make a decision on. Maybe they run to Home Depot and they go buy a sink flange that's the wrong color. I didn't want that. Why doesn't it match my faucet? So those things are all predetermined before we start construction. One of the biggest issues that pre-construction solves is having an incomplete budget or scope. When we don't do pre-construction and we don't have materials selected or scope clearly defined, then a contractor is forced to put in allowances or guesses on what you want to build in your project. And that inevitably will lead to surprises in the end. Assembling your team ahead of time is the most valuable way to complete any large remodel project. If you're thinking about a remodel project and you want to see what a real timeline looks like for that process, comment design.